From the Wayne County Courthouse in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Wayne Goldsboro Television brings you the meeting of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners. The meeting begins shortly with an agenda briefing, then the regular meeting will begin soon after. Please stand by for the Wayne County Board of Commissioners meeting.
Okay, the agenda meeting of the Board of Commissioners now in session, and we're going to go through the agenda. Gentlemen, let me say that we have got a packed agenda today. Probably one of the heaviest loads I've seen yet. And for us to be able to move through this agenda, I'm going to really need y'all's cooperation today. We want everyone to be able to have their say and comments, but if y'all would try to limit those, I certainly would appreciate it so we can move through this.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
does that include you too?
Yes, it does. Good point. Okay, the invocation today will be Pastor Lynn Ebbs of the Rosewood Worship Center. Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Joe Gurley. Approval of the minutes of May 17th and May 24th. Any adjustments to the agenda?
We've got three. We'd
We'll
like to-
add things to it.
Yes, we want to make it more complicated. We have the NCACC June video update. It takes about 5 minutes. We have a proposal to eliminate 4 chapters in the North Carolina Fire Code. I sent an email out to y'all that Wayne had sent us.
Is this under new business?
Yes, I'd like to put both of those under new business. And then we have some additional budget amendments, which Allison will go over.
Are we adding the budget amendments to the consent agenda? If we can, let's right now add it to those, and if any commissioner wishes to pull
Yeah.
any of those budget amendments out, you may do
Okay.
so.
And Marcia, you've handed those out, I believe. You have those before you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
And we will need a closed session, but we have that on here.
okay, under special recognition, a motion to award the badge and service sidearm to Lieutenant Sherwood Daly, and a presentation of a retirement plaque to Lieutenant Sherwood Daly. We will need a motion on that. Is there someone that would like to make that motion?
I'll make.
Who was that?
That's John.
John. Okay. And I take it that the sheriff will make that presentation? Okay. Motion to accept and recognize Ag Carolina Farm Credit for its $50,000 contribution to the farmers market at the Maxwell Regional Agricultural and Convention Center. And I'm going to defer to Commissioner Pate on that.
Yeah. Question, Marcia, did any one of these folks say they wanted to come up and speak? Well, I'll just recognize them, and I'll ask if they want to make any comments.
Right.
Okay.
And you got the name?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You've got the agreement. Are you going to have them sign that today?
They've already signed it.
They've already signed it.
After the motion, then you're gonna sign.
Okay, we'll do that after the meeting. Okay. All right, the appointment committee, have we got a report?
We do. We have 7 appointments on 2 committees.
Okay. At 9:15, we have public comments. At 9:30, after the public comments, we're going to have 4 public hearings. I cannot believe y'all put 4 public hearings at one meeting. The first public hearing is to receive public comments on the county manager's proposed 2016-17 County of Wayne budget. After we conclude that public hearing, we will then go into a public hearing to receive public comments on the 2011 Community Development Block Grant. Who is going to be,
David Harris.
okay?
Okay.
So he will be speaking first, and then we'll go into the public hearing to get
Right.
public
And
comment.
typically, you won't have many comments on this. These are just closeouts. It's a required public hearing under CDBG rules.
This is after we've spent the money.
That's right.
Okay. All right, the next item is to receive public comments on the 2011 Community Development Block Grant Scattered Site Project. And then we'll close that public hearing out and go into receiving public comments on a request to amend the Wayne County zoning map by rezoning .65 acres in Fort Township from residential agricultural 20 to community shopping. And then we will have some public comment on that.
Yeah, just a .65 acre tract. When we did the highway corridor zoning, this parcel was split by the road right of way, and the owner would like it to be zoned the same on both sides of the road. So I've not received any comments on it, so. Sign was posted, ad was run, joining property owners were notified.
Is there any question of Chip before? Okay, thank you. Okay, under unfinished business, a motion to adopt the 2016 Wayne County Comprehensive Transportation Plan.
Remember, Mr. James at the church came here several meetings ago and presented the plan. That opened a public comment period. It was, I believe, 30 days. That has expired, and we are ready to adopt. We need a formal motion and adoption of it by the board. It will then go to the Board of Transportation for their adoption.
Okay, is there anyone that'd like to make that motion?
I will, Mr. Chairman.
All right, the next item under unfinished business is a motion to further recess the second public hearing for the street repair special assessment petition for Canterbury Village and North Creek subdivisions to July the 19th, 2016 at 9:30 a.m. Mr. Wood.
Giving you a memo on page 79. Basically, we had set this because we had to wait until we get the engineer's report back. He's having some additional borings and things done, so we will not have the report back. And so what we wanted to do was, instead of waiting till the next meeting, holding the public hearing, a bunch of people come in here unnecessarily, we wanted you to change the date, give us an additional month, and we'll get a letter out tomorrow. Chip will send out a letter tomorrow, first-class mail, notifying the 121 property owners that it's been delayed until July the 19th.
And you'll make that explanation at our regular meeting?
Yes.
And who would like to make the motion on that?
You're looking at me.
I look right at you, Mayor.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions on that? All right, on the consent agenda, we have a petition for the addition of the North Carolina Department of Transportation State Maintenance System of Braswell Road, Eagle Scout Place, Tenderfoot Circle, Strike Eagle Run. And that's just simply a petition for the addition.
That's right.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Item 2 is to establish a meeting of the Wayne County Board of Adjustment on July the 5th, 2016 at 9:30 a.m. to receive public comments on a special use request for a proposed solar facility, Jester Solar, at 1002 Millers Chapel Road, Goldsboro, North Carolina. This is simply establishing the meeting of the Wayne County Board of Adjustment.
That's correct. Establish the meeting, then we'll send out the notices. It's a Cypress Creek Renewables project. It is located just beyond Goldsboro Millings offices. It's on both sides of the roads. It was reviewed by Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. They had mitigating circumstances that they met, and we have approval from Seymour for this to proceed. So,
And why is that going to the Wayne County Board of Adjustment?
because it is located within the airspace controlled surface area for Seymour Johnson, and anything in that airspace area requires a special use permit for the board.
Good answer.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
did you say that Seymour had approved that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that's in your packet, their approval letter is in,
Okay, thank you.
as evidence, yes.
Item 3 is an application for present use value for Donna H. Ward, and this met all of the...
It met all the criteria, and so we're recommending approval.
That's on page 114, 116.
114, that's right.
And then budget amendments. and here we go.
First one we have for the sheriff's office is to.
Hold on
align-
just a second. We're gonna go to page 117. Let me get there.
Okay,
Okay?
all right. To align the budgeted salary line items to actual expenditures, this is just to correct, not correct, but to adjust, the salary line items through the remaining of the fiscal year. For the library, $66.40. This was a donation received. For the library, $3,566. This was donation monies received from the Library Foundation to send to employees to a conference. For the library, $154.79. This was a Library Foundation donation to pay for a tent for the Storytelling Festival. For the sheriff's office, $2,405 to record your concealed weapons and fingerprinting fees for April. For human resources, $8,000. This is moving some monies from service charges to appropriate additional monies for background checks due to increased hiring in several of our departments. For the health department, their BSEP program, $7,231, and this is to realign some funds in that program to cover their expenditures for the remaining fiscal year. For the airport, $12,513. This is to move some Eastern Region monies within the line items for a shield system in the hangar that we recently purchased at the airport. For WCDA, $8,398. They have had a vacancy in that department, and this is to move some monies to support a part-time position for extra help. For the sheriff's office, $14,495.78. This is to appropriate funds to purchase an arm for the SWAT Bloodhound robot. And there is a supporting letter behind that to provide justification for what they are requesting. And the sheriff is here if you have any questions. For JCPC, their Structured Day Program, they've received $10,800 additional monies to purchase a van to transport their clients. For social services,
Let me go back to that one.
Okay.
They purchased a van for $10,000?
it's probably a used van.
I would say it is.
I'm assuming, and it could have been one that they received from another program that maybe had no longer
Okay,
had use
all
for it. They do that in those programs sometimes.
Don't know that I want to ride in it.
For social services, $96,000. This is the renovations that we are doing in the DSS and Health Department parking lot. And you will also see a couple budget amendments later for Health Department. We're splitting that cost 50-50.
How far along are we on that?
We're moving along pretty well, but of course, we've had a lot of rain here recently. I do want to point out that the reason we're splitting this is, of course, they share the building, number one, but number two, DSS gets some reimbursement on their money. So we're trying to, as much as we can justify it being a DSS building, we're trying to do that.
I hear you.
For inspection, $777.35. This is insurance monies received. Then here's the other half of the parking lot budget amendment for the Health Department share of the cost, $96,000. For DSS, $16,000. This was to purchase the furniture from East Point, and there is a detailed itemized list behind this budget amendment showing what was purchased and the conditions they were in.
I got a question on that one.
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
We let them have the building for all them years for nothing, and now we're buying the furniture?
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
We did get a good deal on it, but I see your point.
Okay, that's all.
I don't have an answer for you. Okay, next.
For JCPC, the Connect 4 restitution program received an additional $4,000 to cover the cost of repairs and maintenance to a vehicle. For the sheriff's office, $9,008.95. This is to record their controlled substance monies coming in. For the sheriff's office, $500. This was a donation received from the NAM Knights Motorcycle Club of America. For EMS, $5,460. This is for additional vehicle insurance on the 3 new ambulances that we recently purchased. For social services, $178,845. This is their daycare program. They're balancing to their funding authorizations received from the state. For DSS, $82,032.75. This is Medicaid monies coming in from the federal government to cover the remaining cost of that program for the year. For DSS, $61,800. This was additional funds for the foster care program, and part of that is federal and state monies, and part of that is county monies. For social services, $5,178.55. This is for the Duke Energy Neighbor and Share the Warmth program, and this is 100% state funds. Social services, $63,894, and this is for their child support program to balance to the remaining expenditures through the remaining of the fiscal year, and that is 66% federal and state reimbursement. Sheriff's Office, $1,755.06. This was for insurance monies received.
Hold on a second, where are you at?
It's on that handout.
Okay.
I apologize, I had not made a note of where those
All right,
started.
I'm with you now.
Okay. For the Sheriff's Office, $46,800. This is to transfer monies from their concealed weapons line item for the purchase of a Chevy Tahoe to replace an older Chevy Tahoe with high mileage. And there is a letter behind that for justification. For the Sheriff's Office, $10,000. This is to purchase additional bulletproof vests for the officers. And the final one for workers' compensation, this is to appropriate fund balance for some additional workers' compensation claims. We did have a high month in in May. And that is all of our consent agenda.
And that's fund balance in the workers' comp fund,
Yes, sir.
which is very healthy. That's not general fund balance.
Okay. Okay, is there any question on any of those budget amendments? That was a mouthful. If not, we're gonna leave them under the consent agenda. Let's not cover that again. And is there someone that'd like to make the motion on the consent agenda?
I will.
Okay. All right, next item is going to be under new business. Under new business, motion to approve updated Wayne Executive Jetport Transportation Improvement Plan.
Good morning, Commissioners. In your board packet, there's a memo from me regarding this agenda item, and there's 2 changes that I wanted to point out to you that they're minor, but they're administrative changes that we have to put into the TIP to send to the state. As you know, that we brought on a new consulting engineer in February of this year, and one of their first tasks, we asked them to do a cursory review of our transportation improvement plan. So one of the changes will be to add them as an authorized party for our transportation improvement plan submittals, and that's just an administrative thing that we can do through the Partner Connect grant program. But the second change, once they reviewed all of our documents, the airport layout plan, which is number 2 on that project list, ALP update, that was not included on our TIP, and that document is required to be updated every 10 years. The last update we did was in 2006. So they asked us to put that on the TIP for funding consideration for the next funding cycle, which will run through 2017. So those are the 2 changes on the TIP, and we're asking for your approval on those today to get those changes implemented. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of Mr. Burns? And who would like to make that motion?
I'll make that.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is the presentation of the quarterly financial statement for the County of Wayne for fiscal year 2015-2016. And right after that would be the presentation of the quarterly financial statement for Wayne County Tourism Development. Both of those given by Director Allison Smith.
I do have 2 sets of reports for you. Do you want me to go into any detail at this point or wait until the 9 o'clock meeting?
We'll just wait.
Okay.
If everybody's okay with that, we'll wait
Okay.
on that.
All right, then.
They have allocated you 20 minutes. If you'd like to abbreviate that, that'll be fine. Item 4 is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the reallocation of the county's qualified energy conservation bond allocation to the state of North Carolina.
I gave you a fairly detailed memo on this because it's a fairly lengthy process here. But basically what it amounts to is that the state allocated out these authorizations to issue basically almost interest-free bonds for conservation-type measures. We've not used ours. Most counties in our region have not used them. And what they're asking for, there's a project in Duplin County, and I gave you all the background material on that. They're basically will take swine waste, you take the lagoon for the swine, you cover it over and you make it an anaerobic digester. That speeds up the eating of the waste by the bugs that do that. And in doing that process, it gives off methane gas. You capture that. You then have to send that to a central processing unit, and you dewater the gas, and then you clean the gas, and then you can inject it into a natural gas transmission line. So that's the project in a nutshell. I discussed it with Crystal. We felt like it made sense to go ahead and release these because we've not had any demand for it here. We also reached out to Goldsboro Milling and discussed it with them, and they were supportive of the project. They felt like it would be good for the industry. As I said in the report, and y'all may already know this, there's a ban on new lagoons and spray fields for swine operations. So the only way they could increase their production would be if they can handle the waste in a more efficient manner, and that's what this is designed to do. So they are supportive of the project and for us to release this. And technically, we release it back to the state, but it is for the Duplin County project. And we've also put in the resolution that you're willing to release it, but only if it stays within our 16-county partnership area. And the only project of this kind in our 16-county area is the Duplin County project. So basically, you're doing it for the Duplin County project.
Are you going to need a motion on it?
Yes, it's your allocation. And there's a resolution attached.
So there is a resolution?
Right behind the memo on page 150 is the resolution.
So we just need an approval to approve the resolution number 2016?
Yes.
That's weird.
It's year number 2016, and then I put the number.
It's
Oh, okay.
2016 dash.
Oh, okay, so there is a blank there.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would like to make that motion?
I would.
Thank you, Commissioner Acon. All right, the next item is a motion to approve financing portions of the Wayne County Board of Education's facility plan as recommended by the Board of Commissioners, Chairman, and the County Manager.
Mr. Chairman, I think we skipped number 5.
I skipped one, okay.
Yeah. And that's just for how we're going to finance the Maxwell Center.
Oh, we did skip right over that. Item 5, the
and
presentation by the County Manager on
Right.
finance.
There's no action necessary there. I simply wanted to give y'all a report on how we would do that. That's all that is. And then we'll get to the next one, which
Well,
is.
it does, though, outline for the commissioners in regards to our debt load and how that's going to be handled. Is that
That's correct. And that's the purpose of it, so that y'all know moving forward how we're going to do it. Because as y'all know, we hope to have the groundbreaking on that towards the end of June.
All right.
So We're getting everything lined up for it, and I wanted to go over that with you.
So no motion on that, you just are making a little
That's
presentation.
correct. And then the next one is a motion to approve financing portions of the Wayne County Board of Education Facilities Plan. Because you remember that plan goes out 10 years. We're not doing the 10-year plan. We're doing portions of it. So I'll go over that. I gave you a detailed memo on page 169, 170, and 171. There's some attachments behind that. One is from Davenport, and the other is the actual facilities plan that Dr. Dunsmore and his staff came up with and that the board approved. And also, Dr. Dunsmore will be here so that if you have any questions about the plan, he can answer those. And their board did meet last night. He emailed me this morning saying that they had adopted it. Because I think they were going to go back in and discuss it, and they did that. So this is a second vote on that.
All right, do we want to have discussion on this at this point, or do we want to wait and have the discussion when this item comes up? Wait. You want to wait? Okay, if everybody's agreeable with that, we'll wait on that. We may have to designate a little bit more than 20 minutes on that one. But, so we're going to take it from you, Alice. Okay, item 7 is the video. Item 8 is the discussion on the fire code. Give us a little bit of stuff. We're going to just have a discussion on that?
I think we need to have a discussion, and then we probably need to take some action about contacting our legislators, because this has some serious ramifications.
And we thank the city of Goldsboro, because John Morton, their inspector, is the one that sent it to me.
Right.
And, 'cause I wasn't aware of it. I don't know whether Tommy and Mel and Brian was or not. But I felt like that, you know, all of y'all need to know about it. I mean,
Right.
Cause I'm not that familiar with what's going on, but, you know.
And I've got a handout.
The ones of us that knows John Morton, he's pretty thorough in what he does. So when he sends you an email, it's worth looking at.
Okay.
And I've got copies of his email that I'm gonna hand out to you when we break, so that y'all can look at that as we discuss it.
And Mr. Wood, we probably, our inspections department, and do we need, I should have copied them.
Well, we can bring Brian in. You wanna call him? Okay, he'll be here.
All right, county manager's comments, then Board of Commissioner committee reports and comments. A closed session, we do have a closed session. Lunch will be at the Board of Commissioners. We'll have lunch with the staff at the facilities services. Anything else for our agenda meeting? If not, do I have a motion that we go into closed session? Well, we have a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of
Consulting with an attorney to preserve the attorney-client privilege, to discuss matters of the location of expansion of in Wayne County and consider the qualifications of a prospective public employee.
We have a motion. All those in favor of going to closed session signify by raising your right hand. Okay?